The first time you read Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, did you enjoy the book?
Yeah. Of course, as a student, you're always going to be bored when you first start reading something, and you're going to be reluctant. You're going to think that the teacher doesn't know what they're talking about. But by the time Sir Gawain chopped off the Green Knight's head, I was hooked, and I stayed hooked all the way through.
Compared to the other books you focus on in humanities class, how would you rate Sir Gawain and the Green Knight?
I have a difficult time rating books that I read or that I would assign because I love all of them. So I'm probably not the best person to ask for a rating. I love Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, and where it differs from some of the other books that we might read is that it has the ability to make us better people. So the Odyssey and Dante's Inferno are really interesting, and they might have the effect of making us better people by reading them, but Sir Gawain and the Green Knight most definitely does if we allow it. If we allow what Sir Gawain goes through to affect us, if we imagine ourselves in his shoes, then it seems pretty impossible to read it and not become a better person as a result.
Chosen to read this book in high school?
That's a great question. Wow. My high school self, probably not. But if I had an amazing teacher who basically read it for me, I would be into it. But if it was just assigned to me and I had to read it on my own, no. I didn't read anything except Stephen King books.
If you were to recommend this book to one specific age group, what age group would it be and why?
If I were to recommend this to one age group, I would say college age. I think once we have the freedoms to make decisions for ourselves, that's when we need some of the stories that have a moral compass to them.
Do you think that it was fair to test Sir Gawain in the way that the Green Knight did?
It's really interesting when you think about Sir Gawain and the Green Knight in a modern society where lawyers are waiting to pounce on entrapment and what is fair and what's not fair. And so in today's society, no, it wouldn't be fair. Poor Gawain would never even have to step up to the beheading challenge. And that's unfortunate. I think a lot of the struggle, like being able to deal with struggle, happens when you're placed into a situation that isn't fair, and you still have to deal with it. So no, I don't think it's fair at all that a guy who can have his head chopped off and can live to talk through it is, entering into a beheading challenge with a guy who can't. But if it were fair, it wouldn't be a good story.
Do you think that Sir Gawain lives up to the reputation of the Knights of the Round Table?
Absolutely. I think Sir Gawain probably defines what it means to be a Knight of the Round Table, because he's chivalrous, he's Christian, he doesn't just talk about being able to stand up and fight. He does it, and he doesn't just do it on the battlefield, because for knights, I think that's probably the easiest thing for them to do, is to fight with their sword and their armor. But he fights without his sword and his armor, and he fights against his inner demons. He fights against seduction, and he's able to do it. He's able to pull it off.
If you could change one thing about the story, such as the characters' actions or personality, what would you change?
Nothing. I wouldn't change a thing. It's brilliant, and it has everything from the fall of Troy up to somebody's head chopped off, and he holds the head up high, and he can still talk. And there are brave men and beautiful women, and there's intrigue and seduction and magic and all sorts. There's so much stuff. I wouldn't change anything.
Rock me like this. Show me show me your gifts.